Hi, I'm Justin Jensen, and welcome to my channel. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust, sweat, and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and may fall again and again, because there is no effort without error or shortcoming. Teddy Roosevelt. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you. I appreciate you all. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining me. What a wonderful welcome. I'm going to start doing that. I'm just saying. How's everyone doing? Hope you're doing well this evening. Pardon me, 7:32, September 6th. Fall is here, guys. Hope you're well. So today we are going to be talking about Kiely Rodni case and just digging deeper into this. Finally, some pictures are coming out, and I wanted to discuss to you about how the car, how the car went into the water, I guess you could say. And we'll be talking about a lot of different things, a lot of different things. But first, before we get started, I wanted to talk to you guys very quickly about a case, and I'm briefly going to discuss it. It's just been bothering me. And it is it's a case out of Michigan. And it's a 14-year-old Michigan teen accused of killing his missing 10-year-old stepsister. This little baby. Thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up. I greatly do appreciate it. If you don't mind doing that, for sure. So yeah, this is the little 14-year-old. A kid murders another kid. And I'm just going to read this real quickly. I just want it to be out there so we know about it, because it's important. It's a tragedy in itself. A child doing this to another child. 10-year-old Nyla Turner Moore was reported missing August 30th. So, a week ago, 6:15 a.m., because she was not at her stepfather's home on the 800th block of South 12th Street. Nyla's stepfather reportedly called her biological father, who then called, how do you pronounce it? Shaganwa police? I don't know. How do you pronounce this? I butcher them. I sound Chinese. No offense. Later that day, police reportedly found the young girl's body in an abandoned lot just down the street from the home. The child's stepbrother, 14-year-old Jamie Peterson, was arrested and is charged with an adult with open murder. Saginaw County. Oh God, I'm having problems already. Court records show that the criminal complaint and warrant against them were both filed August 31st. Namila's mother, Melazine Turner, told MLive.com that her daughter was the oldest and loved taking care of the younger siblings. Turner shared she was jolly, smiley faced, and she had a great personality. She had so many friends, everybody wanted to be around her. She was just so lovable. The little girl reportedly had big aspirations of becoming a doctor before Turner suffers because Turner, her mother, suffered from Crohn's disease. Turner said Namila often told her, quote, "Mommy, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to be a doctor." WNEM TV reports many of Namila's friends have created a memorial for the community members hosted by the fundraiser in her honor. The public school superintendent, Dr. Demont Roberts, wrote in a statement, Namila Turner Moore was a fourth grade student that was well liked by her peers and was a leader at the Stone School, known for organizing recess activities. During lunch and recess, she also enjoyed art class and spending time with her friends. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the family. It just breaks my heart. It really just breaks my heart that this has happened to this sweet little girl. That's another life that was taken way too soon. Really, two lives just ruined. So, going over the Kiely Rodni case, I want to make some points about this case. The facts that we do know. Pardon me. The facts that we do know in this case. Let me get my notes. So we got the potential citing by the vehicle tech for roadside assistance. The company, I think the guy's name is Nick, who was called to help a Honda CRV on Friday or Saturday, but we pretty much think it's Saturday. And the drivers of the Honda CRV, they thought the battery was dead. Now, guys, this makes me think, in my opinion, that the people that was driving this car were not familiar with this car, in my opinion. We don't know that for sure. But it just turned out that they had this vehicle in neutral. And at first, Nick, the tow truck driver, had no clue that it was in neutral. Thank you, Judy, for becoming a member. I greatly appreciate it. So had no clue that it was in neutral. And finally, they found out that the Honda was in neutral. And obviously, you can try your car. It won't start in neutral. No cars will start in neutral that I am aware of whatsoever. And Nick says that was around noonish or 11 a.m. at the Boca Rest campground. Nick had approached Adventures with Purpose with potential information related to the Kiely Rodni case. Nick believes the sightings was the day after she disappeared, but he can't confirm the date. But Jared from Adventures with Purpose confirmed that it was indeed Saturday morning, which was the morning after the party. In my opinion, I feel like, and I'll stress it again, it doesn't feel right to me that this Honda CRV, Kiely obviously drives a CRV. Kiely is missing, technically, at this time. According to Nick, if we put our stock in Nick and believe him, and also believe Adventures with Purpose, because Adventures with Purpose said that the male has been, quote, 100% confirmed. He says the man had a San Francisco ball cap, his hair stuck out. However, there is another guy that I heard was at the party that also wore like a black hat and his hair kind of stuck out, and he would kind of favor Jagger as well. But Jagger's behavior, like we have told you guys, like we have said from when we have talked to him, he was not pleased personally with Adventures with Purpose. And for me, I don't understand why he wouldn't be supportive of someone that found, his words, the love of his life. Another thing that bothers me about Jagger, I just want to say, so whenever someone goes missing, Jagger was off the bat, ready to say this was an accident without any sort of investigation. It wasn't, let's remain clear-eyed and calm, and let's see where this investigation takes us. It was an immediate, this was an accident. She was drunk, and it's over. Now, most people would say, this isn't Kiely. This isn't Kiely. Even, I mean, I hate to say it, but even some people say after their loved ones have passed, they'll be like, nope, that wasn't her, because in their mind, it wasn't. But most people were like, nope, this isn't Kiely. Kiely did not drink a lot. She was absolutely, according to her mother, way against, drinking and driving and that kind of thing. So you would think that Jagger would be like, listen, we're going to check this investigation out, and we're going to make sure that if someone or someones did this, we are definitely going to make sure they are held accountable. So my question for Jagger would be, Jagger, if this is indeed foul play for you, and if you're here, I'm sure you're watching, Jagger. If this is indeed foul play for you, not saying you specifically, but if there is indeed foul play, what should happen to the people, the person or persons that did this to Kiely? Again, your words, the love of your life. So that would be my question to Jagger. Yes, I know Jagger watches this. We talked to Jagger several times. A lot of people, I know. Also, another thing, do you guys remember Sammy saying that, people should, come my way if there's any tips, you know, bring your tips to me. It's okay. You can bring your tips to me. Well, Jagger actually said the same thing, which really makes me wonder. It just makes my head kind of go in different directions. I wonder why Jagger and Sammy both would want to take the tips. I mean, they're kids, right? They are absolute kids. And that is something, I mean, technically they're adults, both of them. And another thing that Sammy said was that made me very kind of suspicious was we keep our groups small and tight so no misinformation comes out. And I can get that to a point, but when Jagger says the same thing you are saying and the authorities have to literally speak up otherwise and say, no, we didn't tell you that. That really makes me question a lot of questions. Let me get back to my notes here. Okay. So we got to Nick, who was the tow truck driver. The vehicle tech reported a woman at the CRV was her words and his words were distressed, was skeptical of what was going on. Now, was he skeptical? Was it more skeptical because of after the fact? Sometimes, you don't really realize, you may not be skeptical or suspicious of someone, but then after something happens and you're like, yeah, they were kind of acting a little weird. So was it that going on, or were they just legit being, just kind of strange in front of them? Did the girl and the guy didn't want to be near each other when the guy would walk over toward the driver's side, talking to Nick, which is the tow truck driver, and then they would kind of switch spots, like they didn't want to be around each other. To me, in my suspicion, of course, we have no evidence of this because we don't know yet. But to me, I feel like Kiely was in the back and they were probably so tired and or high or still even possibly drunk the next morning, the next afternoon, whatever, that they didn't know what the hell they were doing, how to start the car, how to deal with the seat belts and stuff. And we're going to get to the seat belts. You best believe it. We are going to get to those seat belts. Let me take a question. I like to know more about the supposed play fighting. Yeah. Could Kiely have been beaten so badly that she died and was placed in back of car, however, going into the lake? Very, very possible. I have heard rumors, just rumors at this point, and I'll talk about them shortly, of a fight that Kiely could have actually gotten into. Sammy said both her parents are lawyers in the Post. Well, Sammy is not being as vocal as she once was, which to me is another interesting sign. Oops, hold on a second. All right. So they were acting strange. The damn car's in neutral. I mean, and also we have to think, we also have to think that whenever we are in very high stress situations, our brain doesn't work as good, and especially they don't work as good when we are younger. Um, Nick said the guy had short brown hair that was coming out of the sides of the hat, wearing a black flat top San Francisco Giant baseball cap. The guy was thin, with a white bro tank, acne and or possible freckles on both sides of the face, under 6'3". And he says that the woman kept asking weird questions like how to secure her seatbelt correctly, asked him to show her how to attach her seatbelt correctly, shared she was at Boca all night and couldn't get her vehicle started. They both realized the car was actually in neutral, and that's why the car couldn't start. There was no battery problem, no alternator, no transmission problem. It was just simply that the car was parked in neutral. Now, listen, if you're familiar with your car, you know what to check. You know exactly what to check. Um, I don't know what else to say to that, except something is off, in my opinion. You're going to check to see if hell, all you got to do, if it's the battery, all you got to do is see if the lights turn on. I mean, it's really a no-brainer, right? Just, turn the dome light on, turn the headlights on, see if the horn will beep. Flyer. That's a good question. That is a good question. Why do people do the things that they do? I don't know how Nick is. I know a lot of people are actually suspicious of Nick. However, I am not suspicious of him. I'm just not. To me, the vibe that I get and the feeling that I get based upon how he talked, his behavior, and everything, I just feel like he is believable. But that's just purely my interpretation. Okay, I actually drive a CRV. Actually, I have three in the past 4 years, including a 2013. Those cars tell you everything, basically drive themselves. So how would someone owner of car not know, not understand it's in neutral? I don't exactly. Do I think that they will be willing to share the full autopsy report? This is the thing. If there is no foul play, they won't they may not share. However, if there is foul play and this indeed becomes public, if somebody is charged, this will probably be a very high, which it is a very high profile case right now. And I don't know if there would be any way they could really keep it a secret. Was Jagger her boyfriend or her ex? Jagger was technically her ex. Yeah, Kelly. See, I don't know of one car that will start in neutral. Not one. Never heard of it. Miley is a minor and it may be up to her parents to say yes or no. As far as, like I said, if there's if there's nothing, everything is kosher, this was just an accident, they can pretty much probably block it. However, like I said, if this goes to a trial, it's not going to. So that's all right. Let me get back to my. Oh, come on, man. I swear to goodness. Okay, here we go. Okay. Only description of the girl there was she was wearing a light gray sweatshirt, said her phone was dead. Both were uneasy, like they were hungover or just had a crazy night. Now, the vehicle driver, he says that he always parks right in front of the car, and they have dash cameras and audio as well, which is a very smart thing to do for the company and for the safety of the driver and for even the safety of the person broke down. So you can bet 100% right now that they have someone on camera. Now, in my opinion, I don't feel like Adventures with Purpose would have put Nick and all of them and that whole story in there if there wasn't something relevant. In my opinion, that's my opinion. It may have absolutely nothing to do with anything, but I see Adventures with Purpose. I have watched them since they probably had 50,000 subscribers and they've got like millions now. They are very measured. They are very responsible with their content, and I mean, which that has nothing to do with responsibility, but they're very measured, and I feel like it has something to do with it because Jared said, and the guy is 100% a match. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? 100% a match. Yeah, perfume won't cover up the smell of no. When I worked at the funeral home and stuff, we couldn't wear hairspray. You can't wear hairspray or nothing like that. So I just feel like if he said there's 100% match with the guy that was in that car, then I just feel like there's more there. So they were both uneasy, hangover, and everything. The vehicle, what's his name? Nick said they have a cam and they have audio on the truck. Detectives know about the sighting. He reported it about a week later after he recognized her poster in Reno. The company, they put it all up. I don't know if they dropped it in a cloud or a disk or what, but it's supposed to be in a safe area. Obviously, authorities have already checked over that. Adventures with Purpose did contact authorities to verify the lead before searching. Detectives who met with them had heard of it, but over 1,000 tips were being followed up on. 1,000 tips. And they have to run down every single tip. Every single tip. That's a lot of work. Adventures with Purpose, they went also to Donner Lake. They cleared Donner. They went to Boca Reservoir. And that was on Friday or Saturday, and they cleared Boca. And then the final day, they also said that they would have probably done Prosser first, but because Nick kind of volunteered that, which lake that they was closest to, they kind of started differently. So if they would have started on Prosser the first day, they would have found her, which was, I think, what they intended to do. So they went the last day, they went to Prosser. The deepest the lake is about, I think they said 40 to 55 feet. All right. And a direct quote that is from Adventures with Purpose. Facebook groups have been on fire and onto real clues. There was disturbing behavior and a fight between Kiely and a girl, and it's edited out, minutes before the party suddenly broke up around 12:30. Cars started flying out of the parking lots. Something bad happened, and all the kids' parents told them not to get involved. You guys want to hear my theory? I'm going to tell you my theory. I feel like Kiely and Sammy got in a really bad fight. It was the end of the night. They were smashed, or maybe just Sammy was smashed. And things happen. Maybe Jagger showed up or whatever. But I think there was a fight right around the time the party ended, maybe 45 minutes before the party ended. I'm not sure if the fight started and Kiely texted her mom and said 45 more minutes, or if it really was the end of the night. And I feel like Sammy got in a fight. I think they were fighting over Jagger or a boy or something. I just feel it. And that is when something happened. Either she fell, she hit her head on something, Sammy done some real damage to her, because I feel like Sammy's a bossy, mean girl. My opinion, just by the control that she likes to have um, over the microphone, over talking, everything. What'd Stephanie say? Yeah, it always bothered me too. Because I think she said that because she wanted to paint a picture that they were really good friends. No, we were really good friends. Really good friends. But they weren't. And everyone around them, I don't know of anyone who says that they were really good friends prior to this. No one. They may have been frenemies, but I do not feel like they were any sort of close friends, not in social media, not in real life, anything. And your best girlfriend you're going to have on social media. But at the end of the night, they got in a fight, and that is when Sammy either hauled ass for maybe just a little bit and just, left Kiely there. And everybody just took off. Or Sammy, my theory is Sammy and Kiely got in a fight, and then they knew something bad happened, something bad was going down. And then everyone left. That's when the big brigade, the big mass exodus left. And then Sammy, either Jagger or some other boy, put Kiely in the back of the car, and they just stayed in the camping area or around the camping area, around one of the lakes all night, freaking out or making a plan what to do, something to that effect. There were two boys, yes. Or there were supposedly two other friends, because there is a reason. Mark my words in this, guys. There is a reason that Sammy never said who those friends were in the car, who those friends were that took her home. Because she said those friends were leaving. Those friends were leaving early. So she was going to get a ride with Kiely, and then she's going to get a ride with And then after she says she's getting a ride with Kiely, she goes back to the party and asks for a ride, which never made sense to me. After you know, she said that, you know, Kiely was drunk, but if you were drinking around the same amount, um, you know, it makes no sense. I have heard that rumor, but I have not been able to confirm that if Jagger was in the hospital or not. Okay. So that is the larger rumor mill that Kiely and some other person got in a fight, and then the mass exodus happened. Let's see. Your Adventures with Purpose stated in a video that was sent to Doug by someone who cannot be named. Adventures with Purpose located the car, and they did attach a magnet to it. Adventures with Purpose located a car magnet. Okay, it was attached. Okay. And the attachment indicated a new car. If a car is old and rusty, that kind of thing, it's not going to be, you can feel it when you drag that magnet over it. They're so skilled and stuff, they can feel the rough edges and stuff through the lines, or they can feel a smooth edge, which will tell them that that is a newer car. So everyone from Adventures with Purpose turned their phone off, which is a very respectful thing to do. Just a very respectful thing to do, and they actually showed that in their footage. They didn't want any unnecessary trauma for so they wanted to continue discovery for as peacefully and as under the radar as possible. What Adventures with Purpose usually does, which I mean, they usually, you'll see in a lot of their videos, they'll get the license, and then they will bring it up and they'll show it. But they could see this had only been in the water for 2 weeks, this car, so you could clearly see it in the video, which we're going to talk about this shortly. Sorry if you guys hear my children. So they didn't really touch anything on the car. They didn't remove the license plate, like I said, a lot of times that they do. They had to go to rear passenger side window to get an ID of the remains. Kiely was not in the driver's seat, and according to the diver with Adventures with Purpose, he came up and said it looked very suspicious, and the car was upside down. You can see garbage, Truly, which is an alcoholic beverage. You can see chargers, sweaters in there. The driver window was intact. Front passenger window is broken out. Rear driver's window was rolled down, and confirmed she was not seatbelted in the front. Now, what I'm going to show you. Some of you have seen it, I'm sure. Some of you have not. You find the best picture for it. Guys, after this live, I'm going to be doing another live. It's a little bit of breaking news as soon as when I'm done with this one. That just happened kind of a few hours ago. So as you can see here, this is a seat belt hanging out of the trunk. This is a seat belt hanging out of the trunk. Hold on one second. I need to yell at my kids real quick. Okay. So it's the it's kind of I mean, it's not like huge breaking news the next live or anything, but it's something that needs definitely brought up. It's not about this case though. So there is a seat belt that's hanging right out of here. Now, she was found in the back. Now, I will tell you, the first time that I heard that she was found, the very day I heard that she was found, I heard that she was in the back and that she was, they said, strapped down. So I think something is up here. There is no good reason that seatbelt, like, I want to show you a video. Thank God, I pray, I hope I have it up. Oh. Okay, I'm going to have to find it here. But it's here is, you got to see this video. Someone sent it to me about the seatbelt. Well, not about it. She did a demonstration, which makes a lot of sense. If I can find it. Oh, I may have it here. Oh, here it is. I got it. I thought I already had it pulled up. I was kind of freaking out because I got so much. All right. And thank you to the person who sent this in.
By all means, I don't have the same car. I have a Chevy SUV. But did anybody think about the seatbelt and pulling it all the way to strap her in and then shut this hatch and have it hanging out? Because this part right here, if you zoom in, you could see this part hanging out. Like they used that to strap her down, and why they were asking the tow truck guy so much information about a seatbelt so she wouldn't float out. My opinion.
Maybe we should watch that one more time. Just saying.
By all means, I don't have the same car. I have a Chevy SUV. But did anybody think about the seatbelt and pulling it all the way to strap her in and then shut this hatch and have it hanging out? Because this part right here, if you zoom in, you could see this part hanging out. Like they used that to strap her down, and why they were asking the tow truck guy so much information about a seatbelt so she wouldn't float out. My opinion.
I thought that was very interesting. Very, very interesting. In my opinion, some windows were down or windows were broke out because they wanted the car to sink fast. And the second thing is they buckled her in, allegedly. We don't know that still, but I'm just talking about theories because that's all we have right now. So, again, she would stay in there and wouldn't float. Because if there's windows down, you can float out, right? So, and by strapped, I mean seatbelt. How could it be the pull strap for the hatch? How couldn't? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yep. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Sorry about that.
Oh, this is horrible. Oh, this is horrible.
Okay. So I thought that was an interesting point. Now, I'm going to lose my religion. Oh, victory in Jesus. Okay. So they said on Duty Ron's, I believe it was Duty Ron's, don't quote me on that the trunk, was it the trunk side that was to the end of the leg? Is that right? What is it? Oh, sorry. I'm gonna need tips from you when I'm pregnant with. Oh, you're pregnant with twins? Welcome, girl. The way Adventure with Purpose said her car was facing front to lake. And trunk to shore. Okay. So let's say this is if the only way, if it was, it would have to be backed in, wouldn't it? And if it flipped, because if it was backed in, right? This is the lake, or this is the shore, and it was backed in, and the motor goes first, right? If it's backed in and it flips, then this is the back end of the car, this is the shore, right? Hold on. Let me get a pen. I need to show you. Okay. All right. Here's the shore, right? Here's the car. Let's see here, front. Here's the shore, right? You see it? Here's the front of the car. Here's the back of the car. Now, the motor is heavy, so it's going to flip forward, right? And it's going to land on its top. So the back, the way they found Kiely, this back was pointed toward the shore. You get what I'm saying? Now that is, according to Adventures with Purpose, and from what I've read online, it's about 60 up to 65% of the time cars flipped. Cars flip and land on their top. Yes, they said it flipped door to door, not front to back. So they're saying it flipped like this. Is that right? But for the seatbelt to be, or not the seatbelt, but for the back end to be toward the bank, and it was on its top. What is it, Marissa? Did you text me? Okay. So, yeah, it's just very, very strange. Another person said this, I thought it was interesting. So I live in Truckee. I went out looking for her Monday night. I met up with a close friend at the family, and she told me that Kiely was seen Saturday morning at Boca with a man at a local campground. I thought maybe she had her story wrong after Kiely was found, but now she's not sure. And this woman says, Paula, so wasn't the party Friday night? That wouldn't mean she didn't take the wrong turn and go into the lake. Something off for sure. So this is the second. What's wrong? Okay. Hold on a minute. Let me just make sure everything's okay. My phone's about dead. I just got a new phone today, and damn it, I don't know how to use it. I really don't know how to use it. It's embarrassing. I don't know how to, I literally don't know how to use the damn thing. Oh my God. What's going on? Fuck's sake. I'm trying to work this thing. Molly, I'm calling from another number.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 7-1.
I don't know. I just tried to call her, so she ain't gonna answer. I can't do nothing about it. Hell's bells. Here. Let me see if she's live on her channel. Oh.
It was just Christina to start with.
Not hide. She said, I did donate and got scammed. Fact.
Okay,
That's
well, the
what she
fact
said.
is you didn't get scammed. So all these people that are claiming that they got scammed, the only thing is you didn't get the information when you wanted it. Okay, you guys have no idea just the amount of stress that Letitia is going through right now. You don't hear her when she's I think there's one time when she came on panel and she was crying when she was talking to Marissa, but you guys don't usually hear that. You don't hear her when she's crying late at night because she can't sleep and she doesn't want to go into her house because she doesn't want to take in the negative energy. You guys don't hear that. We hear that. I hear Letitia cry. I hear her asking, what did I do to these people? What did I do to make them hate me so much? I mean, it's like the worst feeling when you're getting proof after proof after proof, and you try to tell people, and you try to explain things, but if you show them a little bit, then they're going to want more, and they're going to want more, and they're going to want more. But you know what? That's fine. This is just all going to go to the police. And then we'll see how they want to deal with it, because this isn't fair. In the United States, you're innocent until proven guilty. You can't just say that somebody's guilty of all this stuff because you don't have the information when you want it.
This is the worst.
You think that because in the beginning she showed that she had like a decent amount of money and during a couple of lives, you think it just continued and it was like that day after day after day after day. No, the majority of the donations weren't $100. There were $5, $10, $25. Yes, there were some big ones, but you have to remember, she gave back $5,100, of which part of that was literally her being scammed. And yes, I asked her to confirm this morning. I asked her, had anybody else requested a refund or gotten
Well, that escalated quickly. Is that chick against Melanie? No. No, she's not. It's just some drama that they're putting a woman through. It's just pitiful. People are so mean. People are mean. God bless America. So I have no idea where I was. So we're just going to talk about the water temperature. So around that time, the water temperature appeared to be about 60 to 65 degrees at nighttime, which isn't that bad, which is pretty warm, right? Oh, that's very sad, Vic girl. It's very sad. The cameraman said she was recognizable too. Ro, like, what do you mean by that? With the passenger window smashed out, the car could have flipped sideways. It is possible that it could flip sideways, but it's not likely. It's just not likely that it's just not, I mean, because the motor is so heavy, right? The motor, hold on, let me get this. The motor is so heavy that it flips like this, right? And then she was basically preserved in the cool water. Is there a membership link? The mods can drop it, yes. The mods can definitely drop it, the membership link. So we got that belt. And meanwhile, to me, the strangest thing is not that they were acting weird. The strangest thing to me is, how do you put a seatbelt on correctly? How do you put a seatbelt on correctly? Metal detector at the bottom before anything is lost. Justin, what do you think? Would you go with us? I have a metal detector, but I can't go right now because it's my kid's school time of year. I can only go on weekends right now anywhere. The motor will nosedive, then twist in axis. So some person was telling me today that they thought the axle broke in the back, and they showed a picture, but I wasn't convinced still, to be honest with you. Still wasn't convinced. But going back to that seat belt, right? Going back to that seat belt. Right, here we go. This is what this is the car. Not her car, but the same model, right? Here's that little window, right? And then the seat belt. Get bigger for you. Yay, welcome, Jen. Thank you, honey. Thank you to all my members. I appreciate it. Guys, we'll have my Patreon will be up and working tomorrow. So if you want to join Patreon, that's where you get to know me a little bit better, and we become a community and sing Kumbaya, and you'll get information earlier, and you will get my phone number, and you'll get a private email and all of that stuff. So if you want to join, we would love to have you. And it's not, so yeah, we have a good time. So we will have the Patreon up and going tomorrow. Actually, I have it now. I just don't got the link for it. So yes, so we'll have it up and running tomorrow. So here is the like the seatbelt, and my car has a seatbelt like this as well. If the CRV was backed in the water, it would flip and the hatch would be facing the shore. Exactly, Janice. Exactly. Thank you, DB. Welcome. Appreciate your membership. Thank you. Nobody has said she was strapped in. Only speculation. Only speculation. The only thing that we have right now, other than what Adventures with Purpose gave us, is speculation. That is it. Yes, that is very important, Stacey B, that we hit the thumbs up, because that is a way, it's fun and it's free to help out me. Yeah, it helps get the story out. So this is Doug from Adventures with Purpose, which I thought was an interesting comment. Maybe. I can't go into it anymore, man. You want to talk about her being found in an area that's not an, oh, I made a wrong turn. It doesn't happen in this scenario. That's not a wrong turn there. So I just hope that whoever knows something says something. Doug from Adventures with Purpose. Now, that's a big statement. Truly, in the beginning, I think when Adventures with Purpose started talking, I felt like that they told more than what I really expected them to. That is exactly right. The whole case is speculation. He said, she said, Sammy said, Jagger said, Toga said. When you say Toga, you don't think toe, it's weird. Jared said she was preserved in water, not much decay. Oh. Well, that's good, but I will tell you that, trigger warning, or they come for me about this. Which, it is what it is. But because Kiely was young and that she was skinny, tiny, it really helps. I'll just say that. It helps tremendously. Yeah, of course, there's still gas buildup, there's still skin slippage, that kind of thing. Gabby, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you so much. Welcome to the fam. But whenever, all the things still exist. It's nature. They talked more and then shut down. Yeah. Now, whenever they find the vehicle, all they do is call the police. And generally, they'll assist the police in any way that they can. But they generally, from what I've seen and what I understand, is they allow the police take it from there because they don't, they don't want to, God forbid, mess up the scene or anything and then be accountable for anything like that. So they just pretty much hand it off to the police. Remember, FBI took custody of car. Yes. Car and her FBI divers brought the car. Exactly, right, girl. Avengers with Purpose would not release anything unless approved by them, of course. Yes. Thank you, Janice, for your super sticker. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Thank you. So everything that you saw from that video, I cannot imagine for 1 second that Adventures with Purpose would put out anything whatsoever without the FBI and all agencies. And let me tell you something, guys. Just another thing. First, let me finish what I was going to say. I can't imagine that Adventures with Purpose would put something out without all of the agencies' approval. Yes, believe it or not, I am a dude. Are you a dude? Dude? I bet you're a block dude now. Dude. Come see me. Anyway, sorry. But you have to remember, there is over 18 agencies. 18 agencies in this. Now, you tell me, oh my God, Stacy, I forgot that. That was the freaking 90s. I'm a dude. He's a dude. She's a dude. We're all dudes. You guys remember that? Sorry. Over 18 agencies. You think 18 agencies are going to get involved in this and there not be foul play, in my opinion. Good Burger, that's what it was. Good Burger. I'm funny in more than one way. Not funny, haha. Funny, funny, just funny. Over 18 agencies in this, right? I can't imagine. I mean, to me, there would, in my opinion, there is going to have to be, my opinion, foul play. Maybe they have something to do with the sheriff's son at the party. Was, listen, I've heard that the sheriff's son or an officer's son is there. But this is the thing. I don't think at this time that has anything to do with it. I mean, hell, you have 300 people there. One of them, you're going to have at least one kid there that their dad or their mom is a police officer. You're going to have one one kid there that, their dad is or mom is a minister or a priest, right? So, it's just life. Now, if there was rumors coming out, or if there is rumors that comes out later on that they're like, oh, Sheriff such and such's son or daughter, was there, and but we haven't heard that. But I do think there, in my opinion, there is foul play. I think it would be, which you guys can check from my first videos, I've kind of always thought there was foul play in this. For a second, not a second that I have thought that Kiely Rodni ever drove in this car, in this lake rather, for a second, not a second. He was like, oh yeah, it's dark and you can't see and everything. And I'm like, I've driven and like I've been able to clearly see water at night. And second of all, Kiely knew better. It's just not going to happen, in my opinion. It's just not. Now, Kylie's parents, they definitely say that she was a very responsible person and she would never drive, under alcohol. Now, they can say that, but we truly don't know if she has ever driven under alcohol. But regardless, to me, there is something else to that. Another thing is, who are those people? Who in the hell are those two people? I need names, birth dates, social security numbers, anything you can get. I'm just kidding. But I need names. I need two names. Who in the hell was in that car if there was a meeting, not a meeting, but a charging the phone car session with Sammy and Kiely, and who the hell did Kiely either leave with or had nefarious things that could have happened later that night. Have you guys seen anything that they thought the axle was broken anywhere? Let me know. Someone sent me something and they said, I think this axle is broken, but I don't know. It was normal for people to accidentally take a wrong turn and end up in water. Wouldn't there be, danger. Stacy, yes, that's true, but I don't know if there was any danger or water, But I think, in my opinion, at the very end, when the call came through saying that it was, I wonder if something happened, right? And then Sammy and whoever was using Kylie's phone, and like one of them, or one of them stayed back, and the other one went and had a phone in the car, and like Sammy was there with Kylie, and Kylie would be, gone, pretending, and that's when like the mad rush was going out. And then the person that was driving, the person that was with Sammy came back, just to pretend that Kylie made the call so it would ping on the right towers and stuff. I don't know. Jagger said she was drinking and driving. But another thing, guys, that really bothers me is that Jared Jagger said, "Don't do anything silly or stupid." I can't remember if it was silly or stupid. Don't do anything silly or stupid. Now, what the hell does that mean? Could Jared, why the fuck do I keep calling him Jared? Jesus, Marion, Jesus. Kumbaya. Jagger. Could Jagger have already been in the area? Because did Jagger actually live 3 hours away? Because if he lived 3 hours away, or was he just 3 hours away? Was he just 3 hours away, or did he live 3 hours away? Because if he lived 3 hours away, I mean, he traveled to Reno all the time to hang out with his friends. He lived 3 hours away. That seems like a long drive, to have your like girlfriend and stuff. I don't know. Just to me, it seems. Now I want to show you this photo. It's kind of a makeshift memorial, of where the hill is. But guys, look at this hill. Look at this. That's a steep hill. That's a big incline. Don't you think that's a big incline? I mean, look, they're way up here, right? See how the car is like, backed in, rolled in, drove in. That's a pretty big run. And that's a and you can tell it's like really bumpy. You can see where maybe where the water has been up to here before. And then it says Kiely. Map says 2.5 hours. Okay. It is. You're right, B. You're right, B. But I can tell you, forensically, they are going to check under her nails to see if there's any fiber, any skin cells, anything under her nails. They will check her urine, they'll check her blood, they'll check her hair. I mean, there is so many different things. Her body, her teeth, yes, they'll check her teeth scraping. They'll under her gum lines and stuff, they will check, because we are nothing but, we got, our body tells a story even after we are gone, deceased. There is still things happening. There's still biology and everything happening. Toxicology, yeah, probably 5 weeks and stuff, but DNA is everywhere. Absolutely. There's a guy on YouTube, and he does these little YouTube shorts, but he says he's a scientist, and I'll try to, next time I remember, if I'll find his name, and it's just, he's a really good scientist, because his wife will have like a cold or something, and she'll like sneeze into a tissue, and he'll find out like what kind of virus or bug is in her nose, or whatever, and then he'll make up something from his lab and give it to her. It's very interesting. At least it is to me. I'm kind of a dork like that. So FBI will test the car 500. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. What else do we have here this evening? Let me find it. Sorry, I got to clear out some of these windows, sir. Hold on, I just got an email on you to check possible. I've heard a lot of people, and I just got an email that was asking me this. It says, do you think, I've had a lot of people ask me this, and this is so interesting because people keep asking me this. Does anybody think that the tow driver could be framed? And they're saying, do you think someone intentionally wants his or her prints on the gear shift, the seat belts? I think there is 2 scenarios. I haven't checked, Kitty, to be honest with you. I'll check shortly. But I think, in my opinion, there's 2 scenarios why that driver was there. I mean, yes, it could technically be that they wanted prints and stuff, but to me, you would think, I mean, maybe they wouldn't know that they were on camera or whatever. I mean, it is a strange question to ask, like, how to use a seatbelt and stuff, right? But to me, it's either they think they really don't know how to use this car. They're not familiar with using this vehicle, and they're freaking out because they're acting strange. Kiely, all theories we're talking about, Kiely could be in the back, and that's why they keep switching spots and that kind of thing. Or they're wanting to build some type of not a timeline, but like a alibi, maybe. I don't know. I just don't know. I hope it was an accident. The best thing that we could even hope for at this point, because Kiely is gone, the best thing we can hope for, and I hope all of these things are just so random, because you don't want to believe that young kids are capable of this. But like I did when I first came on today, a 14-year-old killed a 10-year-old. So it's very possible, as it is within Kiely's case. Kiely, right, I thought too, then the location of her, like a roller coaster, when going, pulled back, stopped, sent forward, then add upside down back seat would be like a wall. Mhm. That's exactly right, Tracy. Yes. Do we know the feds are fined with her car? Do you mean, or do we know that when you say the feds, do you mean the FBI? Absolutely. I mean, if that's what you mean, does the FBI have this? Absolutely. Yes. Because the FBI is, um, this is a national, I think it's a national park, right? So that's another thing. I don't know if, see, I don't see how any way Kiely's mom can seal the death certificate if there is foul play, because it's going to get out if there is court. It's going to get out if there's court. There's no way around it that I'm aware of. Maybe I'm wrong. Now, if there is no suspicion or no evidence that there was anything nefarious went on, then yeah, she can probably have it sealed. But a lot of people keep asking me that, which is an interesting thing. Um, 1 second. Crap. Okay. Has anyone Anybody wants to come up, you're welcome to speak about it. I mean, just with all the windows and stuff down, for me, they wanted to get that car in my opinion, in the water quickly. Look at this, guys. Tell me if this isn't sad. This is makeshift little memorial. And it's a car, right? But notice the back. It's red. Why is that there? Why is that red there? That looks like a trunk, right? Am I right? Yes, if it's a crime, it does become public record. The manner and cause are different. FBI has custody. Yes. Alexis, could you just show your face real quick, please? Then you could turn your camera off. Okay, thank you. You can turn it off now. Hello.
Hi, how are you? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, how are you, Alexis?
I'm doing well, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm excellent, thank you.
So, I don't know if you saw the stream rolls by so fast, but I was watching Dolly last night
Uh-huh.
and some lady called in and she sent over a video that she had made herself. And her car was not the exact model, but it still worked. And she opened the back of her car and she took the seatbelt that is like the back seatbelt of the car and she pulled it and it would stretch all the way to the back and she would be able to close the hatchback of the vehicle in it. And then she went to Adventures with a Purpose video and had it all set up. And if you go to where he is going around and like, you know, just pointing out specific things, and it's when he's by the license plate specifically. If you go and pause the camera, if you go to the top left-hand corner, you can actually see that the seatbelt is actually closed in the hatchback of Kiely's car.
Yes.
Which had to be purposely done. I don't know if that was pointed out to you before. Like I said, I came on late to your stream.
Yes. Yeah, we showed that. We did show that it was it was hanging out of the trunk, and to me that is very, very suspicious. Not to mention that they were talking about seatbelts with the tow truck driver. You're talking about seatbelts, and then this seatbelt is hanging out of the Honda CRV when they find Kiely in the back. Something's
and
up.
it would be in the exact placement, essentially, of where her body or where Nick would have seen her body on that side through the window if somebody had.
CD says
That
we
is
don't
just
know if it's a
frightening to me.
Yes. Now CD says we don't know if it was a seatbelt or not. I mean, we don't 100%, definitely know, but to me, it really looks like a seatbelt. And
Yes,
there's a
or
lot more
something that
similar.
could have acted in the same sense.
Correct.
We, like you said, we don't know. We won't know until we get all of the information. But my heart just sank. I mean, clearly something nefarious and happened to her. It
Correct.
is just so sad. I have 5 kids from 26 and then 18, 17, almost 15, and almost 13, and then 2 twin grandchildren who are almost 3. So this is just so scary. And
It is scary.
the 360, what is the app? I'm like that I have.
The app 360,
The
the Life
app
360.
360.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to me, one, especially when they're away at school, but it's just another way to know. And it's, if nothing more, just let your children know. It's like, hey, I just want to know that you get someplace okay. Or if I can't get in contact with you, where you are, or know that you got someplace safely. I'm not looking to be, like a spy. It's just a means of, I just want to know you're safe. Or if I don't hear from you, where the last place you were, and nothing more.
Yes, I agree. Well, thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate it, Alexis.
Sure. Thank you for your time and stay safe. And I love your channel, you and Marissa both. And I think you guys both do wonderful things. So
Thank
I'm
you.
grateful for you both.
You're absolutely always welcome up. Thank you so much. Appreciate
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
You too. Good night. All right. Well, that was interesting for sure. Here is Adventures with Purpose.
Cannot positively identify anybody inside yet. I'm looking in the back now.
10-4. Take your time. Be safe.
Do you guys know if Adventures with Purpose has ever said, like, I would like to know what percentage of time when they bring up a car that has a body in it, how often is it not in the the body in the driver's seat or the front? I would like to know that. Like, how often is it in, the body in the back? Not, I don't mean like the trunk area. I mean like the back seat. So. All right. What is this thing right here? What is this thing? What is that? I don't know what that is. I just now noticed it. Do you guys see it? Is it like one of those tubes or something, like they wrap cigarillos and stuff? Okay, y'all were saying like, okay, cigarette, but most of you saying blunts. Okay. See the fish, there's lots of fish.
I see a pair of shoes in the back. In the way towards the back. I see a pair of shoes.
Now, right here is where he starts to notice. He says, I see a pair of shoes.
Back.
10-4. I read you loud and clear.
I mean, look at all of the algae and stuff that is on the car already, right? You can see the sediment and the algae and stuff already on the car. Now here's the side window. Now, as you can see, right here it's not very blurred, but you can see right there. You can see the human remains right here.
Ten four.
And this is the bottom. We've seen this so many times. This is the Truly, which is an alcohol beverage. To me, this is either a hairbrush or like a curling iron. And of course, we have a MacBook charger, some Apple charger, you can tell. To me, it looks like a MacBook charger. And the sun visor. And of course, this sweater. And we don't know if it could be a makeup brush too. Yeah. We don't know if Kiely was clothed. We don't know, we just don't know yet. Wood blunt wraps something. No, because the actual blunt itself, but they're in a very sealed foil, so it wouldn't. Another YouTuber stated she was fully clothed in a Letterman jacket. I have no idea. I don't want to speculate because I don't know. I highly doubt if she would. Yeah, that's a good point, DB. That's a very good point. I haven't heard anybody say that. She's 16. She's actually 15, now almost, now she would be 16. But yeah, she's not going to drive home with beer in her car, alcohol in her car. She's 16. And who's going to Who's going to drive with alcohol in their car anyways, especially if you're drinking? It's not floating, so the can isn't open. I don't think it's staged per se. I don't think it's staged. I personally feel it was not staged. Now, the driver, not the driver, crap. The tow truck guy, he said when he saw the car that it was, when he looked inside, that there was a bottle of perfume in the console. So that's another thing.
The passenger window is broken out, it appears. Rear driver's side window is halfway down.
Rear driver's side window is halfway down.
Copy that. Rear driver's side window.
That's so
Yep. That's what we do it for, brother.
this was his first dive that he has found a body. And to be so high profile, this case, and right before Nick's pop up, you will need to pause to see the seatbelt. Oh, okay. But he was so upset. There we go. There's the seatbelt. Look at that. Seatbelt. And there's some dings on the car as well. Right here and right here. And you know, the people, particularly the family, they would know if those dings were already there, or could it be, you know, just from it flipping in the water, or could have something happened on land before this happened. Yes. Yeah, he only mentioned perfume. The male in the car. What do you mean the male in the car? The male in the car with the tow truck driver that said he's seen the, you know, or someone who drove Sammy. Yeah, that's what. Okay, Brooke, I'll check right now. Okay. A17. Okay. Yeah, I know Guys, was Tabitha Mayfield, not Tabitha, sorry, Tana. No, Tabitha. Sorry, Tabitha. Was she blocked or anything? Do we know? Also, well, if her phone was dead, she wouldn't be charging it up front. Yeah, that's a good point, Mary. Through the hatch, yes. That's a secret.
Yep. That's what we do it for, brother. Good job. Good job. It's positive, you know? All right.
She's in the back of the vehicle.
Okay.
She's not in the driver's seat. It looks suspicious to me.
Yeah.
Vehicle's upside down. Some of the one window is halfway down. One window is all the way down. Call the authorities.
Yes. I think, in my opinion, they see these things all the time. And I feel like, and not even what I feel like, Adventures with Purpose has said that if they didn't themselves even, somewhat suspect that this could be foul play, then they would have never put that in the video. Hopefully, they will release other parts of this video in due time when authorities allow them to, because they obviously have to get approved by the FBI and the authorities in order to put this out.
That come out. There should be some big developments shortly. It wouldn't surprise me.
This was on Duty's Ron's. It's 9 seconds. In my opinion, there's going to be arrest very soon. In my opinion, I do think that there will be arrest.
And there should be answers really, really soon that come out. There should be some big developments shortly. It wouldn't surprise me. And there should be answers really, really soon that come out. There should be some big developments shortly. It wouldn't surprise me.
Boca for a battery call, so pretty much that means that the vehicle can't start. So I went en route up there, found the vehicle. At the time, I didn't realize that this was a situation until later on. But
Let me stop you right there. Yeah. You said you went to Boca.
Yes, sir.
So over near Boca Lake.
Yes, sir.
So not Prosser Lake, Prosser Creek Lake.
It's right by Crosser Creek.
Yeah, so just north. So you went to Boca.
At first, when I went there, I realized after my test that everything was working great on the vehicle. At that point in time, I did notice that she was very hesitant and very skeptical on everything that was going on. She was asking me really weird questions, in the sense of, how do you put on your seatbelt correctly? And okay. And then she asked me to show her on how to connect it to her actual belt. After that, she was stating on how she was there all night and she can't put on your seatbelt correctly. And okay. And then she asked me to show.
Look at them looking at each other there. They're looking at each other. split second.
Her on how to connect it to like her actual belt. After that, she was stating on how she was there all night and she couldn't get her vehicle started due to the fact that now we both realized it was in neutral. She was wearing a sweatshirt, so it looked like she has been there for quite a while.
What color was the sweatshirt?
It was a gray sweatshirt.
Gray sweatshirt. Was it dark gray or?
I actually think this is going to be rather easy for them to solve, because obviously they're going to know every single person that was at these parties, even not at this party, even the other parties that was going on around these lakes, in my opinion. They're going to know. And say that they're young kids, 18, 19, they're still living with their parents, or they are going to know if they went home. They're going to ask. And then they're going to check all of their cell phones. And if their cell phones are not pinging at home and are pinging around that lake, or their phones are turned off for a significant amount of time, they are coming for you and they are going to be checking you out real good. Real good. Oh, yes, they definitely did cell dumps. Absolutely. And that's going to give them a great point of reference to start, in my opinion.
Light gray.
It was light gray.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, there was a guy there that was with her at time being. He was wearing a black San Francisco.
Now, I would say a lot of people wear black San Francisco hats, right? But who do we know that wears a black San Francisco hat and that has dated Kiely? Good morning from Australia. Hello. Yes. Jagger. I agree. I agree with your comment, Louisiana.
Flat top, ball cap, facing forwards. Brown hair that's sticking out just a little bit on the sides. It was kind of like they were both kind of at unease, is what it looked like for me. Like as if either they had a crazy night or a crazy.
In my opinion, Jagger was around the area or he was at the party. Now, Jagger knew, that this party was going on and taking place. I mean, people came from Sacramento and everywhere, right? So why wouldn't Jagger be there? Why, we don't know that he was there, but why wouldn't he as well? In my opinion. Party was for graduates, but there were more than graduates there for sure.
Crazy day, or there's something going on I couldn't know, and at the time I didn't realize what.
I kind of wondered about this photo. I'm like, see how they're all grouped and huddled up and stuff? Could this be when something like was taking place? I know that people say there's a light back here and stuff, but could this be when people like something really happened and took place and they said, they're all grouped around and then everybody just leaves like a fight. Yes. You know how people, something happens and people congregate around a party anyways, but this looks like they're all talking about something. I feel like something is going on. Someone took this picture because it was like, I may need to take this picture to remember this or something. I don't know, just a thought.
What was going on. But other than that, he was, a thinner built guy is the best way I could put it, with a bro tank, and it was white bro tank. He had some freckles on his face, or maybe it was acne or whatnot, but it was on both sides of his face. He was also a little bit shorter than me, so I'm 6'3".
In hindsight, you're realizing all of this. When do you think that this took place? Was it before, during the day, after she disappeared?
To be honest with you, it's either right after she disappeared or right before she disappeared. But it was around noonish, 11 o'clock in the morning when I got out to her. During that period of time, after the period, I told her that I was going to leave and I hope you have a great day. Vehicle, I told her.
Do you guys remember, I forget which guy it was with Adventures with Purpose, but he said there's another theory and people, it's a wild theory. And I'm thinking, could this be the wild theory that that it didn't happen that night and that it happened actually the next day?
Keep it running for a couple of hours to obviously make sure everything's working good on the vehicle, charging system wise. At that point in time, then I left, and then a week later is when I saw at a coffee shop that she was gone.
You saw this on a flyer or something?
Yeah, but then everything spiraled out of control, and I got in contact with the detective and tried to do everything I could, and then I saw you guys.
Now we know we probably have a tie to Boca, which was already on my radar. Do you know who placed the call to your roadside company?
So I can't get details. Calls don't go through me. They go through
dispatch. So you don't have. So when you were digitally dispatched, did you call them to say you were coming, or you just showed up?
I did call and nothing went through. It went straight to voicemail. Okay. Yeah.
Do you know if she had a phone on her at the time?
Now, I wonder if he uses his cell phone to call. Yes, Jared said that. Jared, yes, it was Jared. You're right. I wonder if he had a cell phone, or does he use a company cell phone? And if he used his regular cell phone or he had his company cell phone, did he have the phone number that he called? He said it was company. Yes. Bingo. But regardless, he should remember. Not he should remember, but I wonder if I know he can't access the video and stuff, but can he access the history of the phone calls when he calls out? Just a thought.
She did state that her phone was dead, so she used whoever this was, she used his phone. So that's how she did get in contact.
And what was, you mentioned she was asking funny questions and acting weird.
Granted, I at the time I didn't realize again that.
Yeah. I've been in the towing industry my whole life, so you see a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of weird stuff, and it's actually pretty normal. So I can see why at the time it's just a normal call.
She kept on going over that, how do you and like, you know, secure your seatbelt firmly and like do it correctly. And that's when
Notice how he says, how do you fasten your seatbelt firmly and correctly? Now, these are Gen X. Is that right? Gen X. So, you know, they may need a little help with the seatbelt. I don't know. But it's a very unusual question. How to fasten your seatbelt firmly. Gen Z, that's what it is. Gen Z, yeah. No, she was 15 and turned 16, Kelly.
When she was asking this, was the guy that she was with right there too?
He was on the opposite side of the car.
So he could hear the conversation as well?
Every single time the guy would come over to us, she would go on to the other side. And it was just like a back and forth, like a tag team. Better to say, like one person would come over, she wouldn't stay near him, and then it would go vice versa. Or if we were at the front of the car going about the battery, and talking about the battery, he was always on one side, she was on another. They were never close to each other.
She was uncomfortable. Yeah, because that screams awkwardness and someone being uncomfortable. And when in that scenario, if he was there with her, he should have been right next to her. If not dealing with you the entire time and not her. Did she seem high or intoxicated or?
I thought that maybe she was either hungover or just had a really rough day. She looked distressed.
I think that it may be maybe the theory that may blow our minds at the end of the day. I don't know. We'll just have to see. But to me, I feel like they put this guy in this for a reason, because Jared himself said the guy is confirmed. It is a match. Okay, she was 16, she would turn 17. Okay, I thought she was 15, turning 16. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. We'll just have to see. She turned 17. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. There's just a lot of things that make you go hum, you know, and it's not usually the way. If there's foul play, you know, it just makes you. We'll just have to see. I don't know. Here is a picture that is supposedly from the party. Baby girl, let me see. Thank you, baby girl. Maybe he was told by police not to discuss the date. Maybe. Thank you so much, baby girl. Appreciate it. So, I don't know. But I, in my opinion, I do think they will be in arrest soon. Within the next couple weeks, at least. God willing, right? Guys, I've been on here 2 hours and 20 minutes. It's time for me to go to bed. Got to be up at 5 a.m. Does that think you definitely sounds like, yeah. Did you see the comments from it? I can't remember, to be honest. Thank you all. God bless each and every one of you. I appreciate you. I actually may go live in about 10 minutes after this with a little bit of breaking news that I hadn't heard. So it's not about relating to this case. It is related to another case. It is a very big case. Just unfortunate. So we'll see. Love you all. God bless each and every one of you. Take care of yourself and give your loved ones a big hug. Thank you. Good night.